speak. My name is Harish Parmar. I am the founder of SingleDebt. We are an established debt management company in India that manages the finances of debtors that are struggling to pay their outstanding dues. Before I talk about debt management and how it will benefit the economy, let me provide some context on the current state of the consumer market in India. The past year has marked by economical ups and downs, with businesses and individuals emerging from COVID lockdown only to face new challenges such as gas prices, food costs, and most recently, the impact of the war in Ukraine. As a result, the cost of living, the cost of running a business has increased, leaving many individuals struggling to manage their debt commitments. The current estimate of household debt is 36.5 trillion rupees as of March 2022, an increase of 11% from the previous year. India's domestic lending was recorded at 211 trillion rupees as of September 2022, an increase of 11.6% from the previous year. It has been reported that 20% of middle-class households are usually concerned whether they can continue paying their loan commitments and may start defaulting in the near future. It is clear for many people debt is becoming unmanageable, making them vulnerable and likely to be a victim of a debt trap. There are not many solutions available for someone who falls into a debt trap without borrowing more money. They are unable to climb out of their burdens and tend to remain in this situation for many years to come. If a realistic solution is not provided, household debt will continue to rise with less capacity to pay it. We must adopt a more structured and substantial way of managing and collecting debt. Overdue loans accounts are often heavily discounted or transferred to external firms for hard collections, without giving the debtor an achievable solution first. In the Western world, debt management is a critical element to tackling unmanageable debt. It was introduced to help people get out of debt, prevent bankruptcy, stabilize the economy, and reduce the burden on public services. Creditors are recommended to pass debtors onto debt management companies before they undertake any hard collections or legal actions, giving the debtor a chance to repay within their means. In India, debt management has been recommended by RBI as per the Working Group article of April 2008 to find realistic solutions for the debtor and agree a repayment that are achievable. By adopting debt management practices, banks can improve their efficiency in recovering dues from customers. It also ensures that the recovery process is carried out in a fair and transparent manner without causing undue pressure on customers. This will ultimately help drive down the number of NPAs in the banking system, improving the financial health of banks, and mitigating the risk of being penalized or being imposed with lending restrictions due to non-compliance. We help creditors avoid penalties that occur from financial negligence, improving the reputation of the creditor, ensuring that they are safe and reliable and keeping the client relationship intact by demonstrating that we are committed to helping the customer and retaining their business in the future. Banks and NPAs should be working closely with debt management, as it allows them to assist their struggling customer to bring their finances in order, using a comprehensive repayment plan that includes all of the creditors that the debtor owes, thus encouraging the professional and ethical collection process. So, how does this work? First, one would need to understand how debt management plan works and how the Western banks have used it as part of their pursuit to help customers pay back their outstanding debt in a structured manner. A debt management plan is a tailored repayment plan in which the process requires an external party to look at the total indebtedness of the debtor and calculate the disposable income, leaving an amount that can be utilized for the repayment of the plan. So what does that mean? What does a debtor experience? If a debtor defaults on one payment, then there is a high probability that he will default on the other repayments. Because in average, in India, an individual will have 5 loans. So if he defaults on one, there's a high probability he'll default on all 5. And what happens is that that debtor will be chased by 5 different creditors, which, as it happens in India, they will all chase him, he will then pay one, not pay the other, and this will continue, which does not benefit the bank, does not benefit the debtor. It creates large stress within our society also. So what is the solution? The disposable income that we have worked out for the customer is then paid to the creditors, each one of the creditors, on a pro rata basis every month. This allows the debtor to repay what they are owed within their means and encourages them to be more disciplined when managing their finances by providing them with a clear understanding of their obligations and the problems of default. It also encourages them to take responsibility of their financial commitment, which ultimately helps build a culture of financial discipline in the country. Currently, the banks are using a 3-step process to collect undue accounts. First, an attempt is made to collect the debt through soft method. If this fails, the debt is outsourced to legal firms to issue notices and then transferred to debt collection agency for hard collections. This process is costing the bank a significant amount of fees and commissions. 10% of the debt is paid to legal fees, plus 30% of the collected amount being paid to collection agency. An additional 30% is discounted from the debt for a settlement. The current method of debt recovery is used very abruptly and is a costly process for the banks. The alternative solution is offering them debt management before undertaking recovery, which would be a more effective approach. Instead of the huge discount offered through debt settlements, offering a reduced interest rate and freezing charges would be a long-term gain. By adopting this approach as the first step to a long-term gain, by adopting this approach, would recover, for a long-term gain, by adopting this approach as the first step to recovery, individuals can better manage their debt with a real view of repaying it back, as the vast majority wants to pay their dues. Instead of each creditor chasing the debtor for their payment, we implement a comprehensive repayment plan that includes all of the creditors. This way, up to 70% of the debt portfolio can be collected even if it is over a long period of time. We act as a single point of contact to help manage the completion of the plan, ensuring that all the creditors owed by the debtor receives a regular monthly payment. There would be no need for legal action on enabling the banks and NBFCs to retain customers for future marketing. The cost of collection is reduced. The most importantly, it would be driving down the number of non-performing assets, NPAs. We do all of this at no cost to the creditor. All that is needed your end is to accept the plan. And not only do we provide achievable repayment plans, but also free debt counseling and free financial literacy course to help educate customers on how to budget and how to bring a better understanding of managing credit and debt. Regular income and expenditure reviews are undertaken to oversee financial health of the debtor. And if at any point there is more money available, then this is added to the monthly repayment. That they need help. Some people have been on our plans for 48 months. So we are there to support them, and we are a firewall between the creditors and the debtor. So we are independent. We don't make judgments on behalf of the bank.
All right, so this has been for ages abroad, and this is good to see that we are coming up here as well in India as well, and it was good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.